Good evening. I'm here again for another tackle talk. Tonight the feature is Bucko's baits. Bucko's branded baits, I think, is the technical term for his Facebook page. But he was kind enough to send me a couple of baits, and I was kind enough to win a couple on the online raffles. So we've got a wealth of baits. Hi, Waldo. We've got a wealth of baits to go over today. He's got some awesome stuff, some big stuff, some small stuff, some stuff that worked for me last year, and some new stuff. So without further ado, let's dive right into the new stuff. New for this year, we've got the Bucko Glide. There we go, camera, good work. Kyle Fridge just told me to put my hand behind it so it blocks out my eyes, so then it focuses on the eye of the lure. It's a great tip, Kyle. Thank you. It's almost like he knows what he's doing and I don't know what I'm doing, which is 100% accurate. Anyway, we've got Bucko's Glide. This thing is awesome. I haven't had a chance to run it yet, but just a really cool color, a lot of gold, a lot of shimmer, should work in pretty much any body of water that I fish. Sucker forage, you know, bait fish forage, whatever the case is. It's got a pretty narrow profile, very similar to Conklin's lures as far as the profile is concerned. I featured one of his baits recently. I got to run his last week. It was pretty cool. Anyway, on to Buckos. But this thing is awesome. Super cool bait. I cannot wait to run it. I need to just throw it in the box and be done with it. This is the time to chuck them, that is for sure. But that is the Bucko Glide. I don't have a ton of info on it, unfortunately. I'm sorry, Bucko. I should have got some more info from you before I did this. But if it looks cool, hit up Bucko. Next on the list, something also familiar. We've got, if you watch the live, we've got the 6-inch Bucko, just the standard dive and rise. There it goes. The 6-inch standard dive and rise. This thing's awesome. Bucko put some awesome like pearls in this one. Just kind of the shad kind of vibe. He knows what I fish around here. He knows what the fish like around here. If you'll notice, these ones are a little different than the ones last year. They're a little bit taller, which there's nothing wrong with that. I haven't got a chance to run it yet, but I trust the bait maker. If he thinks the change needed made, then he's the guy to do it. But again, just a really big profile for a small compact package. This is a really cool bait. I had some luck on his other 6-inch last year, so I'm looking forward to chucking this one around. Actually, his 6-inch from last year, when I was out with Josh Barsky, you know, he was chucking that thing around a little bit. It was the only action we had all day. We had a couple of really late follows on it, but we finally got some fish to move. It was a super slow day, minus a personal best wiper, so that was pretty neat. I was really happy to have that fish. I'll take a 29-inch wiper any day of the week. But thanks to Josh for putting me on that fish. Thanks to Bucko for these awesome baits. So really looking forward to checking this little guy around and just seeing what it does down there and how much it dances. That's the nice thing about Bucko's 6-inches is they move and they shimmy and they wiggle and they'll kind of settle out. The cool thing too with the internal weighting system on these 6-inchers is it allows them to really, like, you can really dial in the weight on those, so then that way you can get it to rise slow, you can get it to rise fast. It just kind of depends on however you want to weight the bait for the situation. So I fished his 6-inch baits where there's like a foot between the surface of the water and the weeds. I fished them 6 to 8 foot down. It just depends on the situation that you need those baits to accomplish, and that internal weighting system really helps with that. All right, moving on to the bigger, badder stuff. So we've got the 14-inch Bucko. Yes, I did win this one on a raffle. I don't know how. I was just trying to help fill it because I thought Bucko could use a friend, so I helped him fill it, and lo and behold, I won this awesome walleye glitter Bucko. This thing is freaking cool. Ace, get out of here. Go downstairs. Just an incredible bait. Super big profile on this thing. I mean, just look at the way that the light is catching that glitter. Of course, you know, as soon as I start filming this tackle talk, my cats, who have been sleeping the entire time I've been home, are now freaking out. I don't know if that's a sunset thing or if that's just a spring thing. They're ticking me off, but we're gonna power through and show some awesome Buckos branded baits. So just a really cool bait, really cool profile. I haven't actually ran his 14 inches. His 12 inches have kind of a very similar action to his smaller baits as well as his 10s, where they'll dive and they'll shimmy and then they'll come back the other way and shimmy. They don't, I guess it depends on the weighting, how deep they get. I haven't messed with the 12-inch weighting a bunch. The one that I was using last year, the kind of brown perch that he sent me, that one I was able to get, you know, kind of like in that 6-foot-ish range when I was working it, and I had like room to work it versus like trying to get it through structure or over structure. So that was, yeah. So that, I mean, I hope that is helpful in terms of how his baits run and what they do. Definitely, like, these things I think would be really good on some of those Canadian bodies of water. I think, like, honestly, like compared to a Suic or something like that, you could probably beat them up against the rocks a little bit more. I mean, they are wood and they'll get chewed, but I think that they would do a little bit better on the rocks than a lot of wooden lures. Plus, Bucko puts tons of epoxy on these. I don't know if a fish could even bite through this if it wanted to, but so this is the 14. Looking forward to throwing that on some seriously big fish water next season. All right, probably the two he sent me that I'm most excited about and really jazzed for. This is his 10-inch. I have a couple of his 10s. I caught a really nice pike on his 10-inch last year in northern Wisconsin, but this is just like his white walleye kind of pattern. Just tons of glitter, a little bit of flash, a little bit of white. I mean, it's just a really cool color. I'm really excited to throw it. This may be a pattern that catches the fisherman more so than the fish, but I think it'll work equally well for both. This thing is just super cool. I cannot wait to throw it. It's gonna go in my box and it's probably just gonna live there all season just because, I don't know. I mean, how do you not? I mean, look at all the light that glitter is throwing. It's just insane. So really looking forward to throwing this one. I usually have a 6 and an 8 of his with me pretty much at all times. This one will probably fill that 10-inch slot a little bit. I'm a little bit more selective with where I throw the 12s and the 14s, but like pretty much anything 6 through 10, I don't really have any problem chucking that wherever, whether it's, you know, Wisconsin water, Iowa water, Minnesota water, whatever. But really excited to chuck this one around. I think it's just gonna throw a lot of light, end up getting crushed. Super cool bait. Yeah, thank you, Bucko. Your paint work is just absolutely just, you know, going through the roof. It's incredible to see the evolution not only of like how people change their styles of fishing and stuff, but a lot of these paint makers that I work with, like how much their style of painting increases, improves, does all the things. I'm probably not making sense right now, but that's fine. I mean, you've got guys like Adam and Ridgway, and they're just constantly like, they don't even care about whomever is painting stuff outside of themselves, because they're constantly trying to outdo their own work, which I think is just a really cool, really neat thing. All right, last on the list, and probably one of the coolest baits that I own, is Bucko's 14-inch Cisco that he did custom for me after I won one of the slots in the, I think it was the Christmas, one of the Christmas raffles. So we've just got like a blue glitter Cisco. I mean, the eyes on that thing are just insane. I hope the camera is focusing because I can't quite see it based on where my head is at. There it goes. Just super cool eyes on that. Just a really good lateral line that goes down the length of the bait, and just that awesome ultimate glitter, bluish silver. I cannot wait to take this glitter Cisco pattern to northern Minnesota this season. I think it will just absolutely crush up there. Just a bigger profile, and I don't know if you could find a better like Cisco match out there. Again, Bucko's been stepping up his paint job like crazy. All the guys that I work with seem to just be putting in some serious time, effort, and attention into getting these baits just how they want them. So I'm trying to show it off as best as I can. It's a big bait, it's hard to get it all in the frame, but I mean, like, you can see it in my hand. Like, this thing is enormous. So really looking forward to chucking this thing around this season. Yeah, just a super cool bait. I mean, both of these are just, I mean, the work is just so cool. Part of why I love doing this is I love showing the artistry and the craftsmanship that goes into these lures. And I know how much time, effort, and attention it takes to make a bait like this. I know that there's tons of epoxy, tons of paint, tons of work, tons of experimentation. So again, all of those guys that I work with, I cannot appreciate you enough. Bucko, thank you for sending me these awesome lures. I cannot wait to run them. They look phenomenal. And who can beat just your own custom like lure or whatever? Like, this thing is 101. This thing is like 101. Like, no one else is out there chucking these things around. Like, I'm the only guy who's got one. I mean, how cool is that? Also, how advantageous is that to know that those are the only ones that are ripping around out there? I don't know what, I don't know if Bucko's done any of these for anyone else, especially in my area, but again, it's cool to know that you're throwing unique things on your bodies of water or wherever you're taking them to fish. So again, it's so cool. I'm so appreciative of all of the bait makers that I work with and all the work that they do. If you like the tackle talk, please let me know in the comments. I appreciate all of the feedback that you guys give me. It makes these so easy to do and so worthwhile for me and the bait makers. I love putting people's hard work in front of the camera. So I love doing it. It's cool. I love working with guys like Bucko and Matt and Adam and all of the guys that I work with are they're just really good dudes who really know their stuff, and you catch fish on their lures. What more can you ask for? Anyway, I've got tons on the way. We just had an awesome weekend on the water. Barry caught his biggest fish, so stay tuned for that. Unfortunately, I'm not certain what the weather's going to do this weekend, so that might derail some plans in the present, but we'll definitely make up for it on the back end. Alright, I'm starting to ramble. Thank you all for watching. I greatly appreciate it if you'd like and subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.